ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணலாமா?
சுப சந்தியா. இன்னைக்கு காஷ்மீர்ல பெஹல்காம் அப்படிங்கிற ஊர்ல தீவிரவாத தாக்குதல் நடந்து நம்முடைய சகோதர சகோதரிகள் நிறைய பேர் உயிரிழந்திருக்கா. அவளுக்காக ஒரு நிமிடம் நம்ம மௌனாஞ்சலி செலுத்தலாம். உங்க இடத்திலேயே கொஞ்சம் எழுந்து நின்னுட்டு கூட நீங்க மௌனாஞ்சலி செலுத்தலாம். தன்யவாதா, நன்றி. நம் நாட்டுக்காக போராடிட்டு இருக்கிற நம்ம ராணுவ வீரர்கள் உயிரையும் பொருட்படுத்தாது எவ்வளவோ தியாகங்களை செஞ்சுட்டு இருக்காங்க. அவங்களுக்கு என்னைக்குமே நம்ம உறுதுணையா இருக்கணும். அது போல நம்மளுடைய நாட்டு பிரதமர் மோடி அவர்களுக்கும் நம்ம உறுதுணையா இருந்து ஒற்றுமையோட நம்முடைய தேசத்தை நம்ம காப்பாத்தணும். நரசிம்ம பெருமான் அவர்களுக்கும் நமக்கும் என்னைக்கும் உறுதுணையா இருக்கணும். உக்ரம் வீரம் மகாவிஷ்ணும் ஜ்வலந்தம் சர்வதோமுகம் நிருசிம்ஹம் பீஷணம் தம் பத்ரம் மிருத்யும் மிருத்யும் நமாம்யஹம். மாதா நரசிம்ஹா பிதா நரசிம்ஹா பிராதா நரசிம்ஹா சகா நரசிம்ஹா வித்யா நரசிம்ஹா திரவிணம் நரசிம்ஹா சுவாமி நரசிம்ஹா சகலம் நரசிம்ஹா. இதோ நரசிம்ஹா பரதோ நரசிம்ஹா यतो यतो याहि ततो नरसिंहा. नरसिंहा देवात् परो न कश्चित् तस्मात् नरसिंहा चरणं प्रपद्ये. करचरणकृतं वाक्याजनं कर्मजं वा श्रवणनयनजं वा मानसं वापराधम् विहितं विहितं वा सर्वमेतत् क्षमस्व जय जय करुणाब्धे श्री महादेव शंभो. Coincidentally, this shloka also says negative forces should be eradicated and we have to get positive force. Samskrita Vani कार्यक्रमस्य सर्वेषां हार्दिकं स्वागतम्. देवं प्रार्थयन् अस्मान् शान्तं मनः ददति कुमारी तेजस्विनी प्रार्थना गीता गायेगा. Thejaswini learning music since 10 years from Srimati Uma Ravichandran. She had participated in many music competitions and won prizes. She has also participated in Shankara TV. Pursuing BTech, Swagatam Thejaswini.
वन्देऽहं शारदां विशारदां ज्ञानदां वरदां 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 वन्देऽहं शारदां. सत्त्वस्वरूपिणी स्वच्छहृदयनिवासिनी शुद्धसत्त्वस्वरूपिणी स्वच्छहृदयनिवासिनीं स्वप्रकाशरूपिणीं वन्देऽहम् सत्त्वस्वरूपिणीं स्वच्छहृदयनिवासिनीं स्वप्रकाशरूपिणीं वन्देऽहं शारदां विशारदां ज्ञानदां वरदां वन्देऽहं शारदा परापर विद्याभूषितां सुरवर सुखससेवितां परापर विद्याभूषितां सुरवर सुखससेवितां गतां सुलभां सुस्वर भाग्यनिरतां वन्देऽहम् गतां सुलभां सुस्वर भाग्यनिरतां वन्देऽहं शारदां विशारदां ज्ञानदां वरदां वन्देऽहं शारदा
अति उत्तम.
Such a beautiful rendition, Adbhutam Gayanam, Sundaram. It was so beautiful. May Sharda Devi bless you with good knowledge, more and more knowledge, and you have to come up well in the life. Dhanyavada Tejaswini. Thank you, Kanna. Thank you so much. Subhashitam Naitika Mulyam Patayati, a great war veteran and disciple of Swami Omkarananda. I'm sorry, Swami Omkarananda. Shri Ramakrishna Mahodaya will be presenting today's Subhashitam. Swagata Mahodaya.
Namaskara. Welcome. Today's Subhashitam is regarding fate. How the karma turned into a fate, punishes a person or rewards a person unaware. When he does not expect, at that time only it happened. The Subhashitam is like this. Kalvato divasesvarasya kiranai santapito mastake gacchante samanatapam dritagatis talasya moolam gataha tatrabhyasya mahapalena patata Bhagnam sasabdam siraha prayo gacchati yatra daiva hata kastatraiva yantyapataha. Once, during a peak summer, a baldy man was walking through a highway without any protection. So, he was unable to bear the heat of the sun by means of that hot trees. Therefore, he was searching for some shade or a tree. He could find only a palm tree. He rushed fast and walked and stood underneath the tree. At that time, what happens? As ill luck would have it, a ripe fruit, palm fruit, from a tall height, it fell on his head, and with that, he got his head fractured. It was really a fate or the result of his past karma. So, therefore, the fate does not spare anyone. It is fearless, without any partiality. So, support this. One story is about Mihira. Mihira was a fourth member of Vikramaditya, great Vikramaditya. Mihira learned astrology from Aryabhatta. He was a great astronomer too. So the king, when he got his son, when he was almost 1 year old, any king would like that his son should become the predecessor king. Therefore, he told Mihira, you please cast his horoscope and tell me the predictions. So Mihira, he calculated and he was astonished. He doesn't know how to tell the king. No one would like if you say your son will be short-lived. Therefore, he was keeping quiet. Vikramaditya told, don't be afraid, you tell me the truth I will not harm you. Then Vikramaditya, then Mishra told, your son will die on the 18th birthday. Then king was taken aback. He thought how he will die. You tell me by what or what disease he will die. Then Mishra told he will die through a boar, that is a male pig. Therefore, the king ordered his ministers to go into all directions and kill all the pigs in the surrounding and including the boundaries. So the ministers killed all the pigs. Then what happened as the days was approaching slowly, then the king thought, Vikramaditya thought it is better to give him proper security and safeguard his life. He constructed a tall building like our what you call LIC building. So he constructed a tall building. At the bottom of the building, he employed a lot of sepoys as a security guards with guns and whatnot. So on the day, what happened exactly on the 18th birthday, it is almost in the evening. So the king thought nothing happened. So I am lucky, my son will survive. But all of a sudden, what happened? There was a tornado. With the wind was so forceful that his son was sleeping. He was taking rest on the topmost floor. Anybody likes, to stay in the topmost floor, topmost terrace, so that you enjoy the good wind and the scenery. So he was just sleeping on the cot. At that time, the tornado, what it did with the force of the wind, suddenly everyone heard a sound, loud sound, and within fraction of a minute, king's son was dead. That is the tall post in which the flag of the king is hoisted, it will have a sharp arrow-like edge on the top. So that post broken and that sharp edge fell on exactly the center of the chest of the prince. And immediately the flag covered his entire body. Then everybody reported to king, and when they saw he was in a pool of blood and the flag was bearing his own emblem, that is boar. So this is how fate take place. Thereafter what happened? Though he was in grief, Vikramaditya understood this astrologer was really a great, so he has given him a title Varaha, added to as a prefix. Thereafter he was called as Varahamihira. Thank you. This is how the fate takes anyone by surprise, and let us do always a good karma. Thank you.
Oh, that was a wonderful message, Mahodaya. Always you come up with beautiful moral stories. Dhanyavadaha. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. स्वागतम संबोधनम प्रस्तुत करेंगे श्रीमती विसाली कृष्णन. सनातन धर्मस्य रक्षणार्थम अस्माकं समाजस्य सेवां कुर्वन् अस्ति. स्वागतम विसाली.
सर्वेभ्यः नमस्कारः. अद्यतनं संस्कृतवाणी कार्यक्रमे सर्वेभ्यः स्वागतम्. अद्यतनं श्रीमती मातंगी महोदय संचाली रूपेण अस्ति. स्वागतं माता. कुमारी तेजस्वनी अपि स्वागतम् अस्मि. या तदीये सम्मोहन स्वरे प्रार्थना गीतं गीतवती. स्वागतं श्री रामकृष्ण महोदय. या सुभाषितम् इत्यस्य माध्यमेन अस्मान् सुन्दरं सन्देशम् अददात्. श्रीमान् सुश्रुता महोदयस्य स्वागतं, यः प्रतिमासं भगवद्गीतायाः सुन्दरव्याख्यां करोति. श्लोक प्रातः कुमारी श्वेता वर्गे स्वागतं. स्वागतं श्री अभिनव किदम्बी महोदय, यः नरसिंहपुराणं कथयितुं गच्छति. अस्माकं विशेष अतिथि श्री राघवेन्द्र महोदय, हार्दिक स्वागतम्. धन्यवाद मार्जनार्थं श्रीमती गीता मुथुस्वामी महोदयाः स्वागतं करोमि. शांति मंत्रस्य स्वागतं श्री शिवकुमार महोदय. अद्यतनं कार्यक्रमे पुनः सर्वेषां स्वागतं करोमि.
Dhanyavadaha Visaliji. That was the wonderful welcome address as usual. Thank you so much. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says one can kill the body, the soul is immortal. सुश्रुता जी भगवद गीता के मूल्यों को प्रस्तुत करते होंगे. Assistant professor at Amrita University, Coimbatore, has done PhD in Yoga and Yajna. Swagatam, Mahodaya. Welcome.
नमः सर्वेभ्यः सर्वेपि श्रोतुम् अर्हन्ति इति विश्वसिमि शृण्वन्ति वा सर्वेपि श्रोतुं शक्नुवन्ति अस्तु ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम् पुनरपि स्वागतम् so actually the whole couple of days we were just praying for the souls who left on behalf of our identity, our existence. It has become for Hindus existential crisis, and Samskrita Vani is contributing in its own way to stand for its culture and exists and growth and everything that is possible. So yeah, we study Bhagavad Gita in various aspects. Though we claim body is Nashvara, Atma is Shashwata, it remains same. When we listen to the news that happened in Kashmir, we cannot be remaining aloof. We have this is what spirituality it all means when Bhagavan says Yudhyasva vigata jvaraha, you have to fight, but for what? The reason for fighting that Arjuna is motivated for, to protect, to stand with those who are shishtas. Dushta shikshanam and shishta rakshanam is the fundamental principle of dharma that Krishna stood for, Chanakya stood for, and Shivaji stood for, Vivekananda stood for, the present political will is standing for. So all reconciling all that energy, still we have to go back and think, what do we think about it, what Krishna taught about it, and how we get inspired from whatever he could convey to Arjuna. It has to happen time and again. There is no time. The Kshatriya is what is missing in today's education. We are all, some of the speakers that I keep observing, we are all made disarmed. We don't know how to fight. We don't know how to use the weapons that we are given. And we have no ecosystem to revive for our, we don't call it as right, but our own existence we all have forgotten. So we have to worry seriously and critically. We have to think. Samskrita Vani is offering intellectual service. No, but in fact, I was thinking, why can't we make a group? There are in pockets training centers to protect oneself, defense practices. But we have Ramakrishna ji who exactly thinks the way that defense thinks. And why can't we stand, there can be a group where defense mechanism is taught for the, kids, for the youngsters and, women. We keep remembering those, Nastri Swatantra Marhat. Okay, Shri should not be left without protection. But that has been translated very wrongly. Okay, Shri do not have any freedom. Okay, this is what Samskrita Vani is promoting, meaning how to understand the sentences of either be it Yajnavalkya Smriti or Manusmriti or any Smriti. How should we understand? Because when we consider as one layered approach to any Shastra, there can be many wrong interpretations as well. So when Stri Swatantra Marhati is said by Manu Dharma Shastra, very, very clearly it is stated it is the responsibility of the rest of the members to take care of the women. It is not to say that women do not have freedom. Everybody is equal. There is no difference if we are born in terms of jiva. We are all jivatma. Some people have prakriti more expressed. Some people have purusha more expressed. So according to Sankhya and yoga and even for Krishna Bhagavan, as we are progressing in the 7th chapter, this is what exactly he says. Prakritim, there are two aspects. One is Prakriti and Purusha, and there is Para Prakriti and there is Apara Prakriti, and these two Prakritis are the Daivi. Okay, these two Daivi Prakritis have to be enriched more, and we are all the combinations. Each individual, each jiva is combination of Prakriti and Purusha. It is the features that Prakriti and Purusha present. It is not the male and female. That is, in general, outside it is said Prakriti is female and Purusha is male. We never say like that. So Purusha is what is constantly is standing for its identity, and Prakriti is what is giving its identity by changing different phases. Okay, this is very apparent, superficial understanding about Purusha and Prakriti, but still coming back to what he said in Bhagavad Gita 7th chapter. एतद्योनीनि भूतानि सर्वाणि इति उपधारय अहं कृत्स्नस्य जगतः प्रभवः प्रलयस्तथा. I am the origin and I am the final merger. Everything gets merged into me. And then ततः परतरं नान्यत् किञ्चित् अस्ति धनञ्जय. There is nothing beyond me. There is nothing above and beyond me. And Mayi Sarvamidam Protam Sutre Manigana Iva. This is what we discussed in the last edition. Everything is intertwined in Bhagavan, in the Purusha, in Prakriti. So everything is each mutually connected with. And then there is a small connection to move on to the next segment called it is Upasana. Okay, as we were also dwelling upon these three segments within Bhagavad Gita. First one is karma, the second one is bhakti, the third one is jnanam. Though there are fragments within these three segments of these three topics, apparently discussed. You cannot say first segment, first 6 chapters discuss majorly about karma. Okay, we have karma yoga and we have karma sannyasa yoga. We have all that kind of narration focused at karma, but it is not bereft of bhakti and jnana. Similarly, in the second segment, we see more bhakti, but still we have karma and jnana associated. Similarly, in this last segment, so moving in this juncture period from karma to bhakti, this is what he says. If everything is intertwined in the original existence called Bhagavan, and that is what Saguna, Nirguna, Brahma altogether, Kena Kena Dharmena Vishishte Tvaye Sarvamidam Protam iti Uchyate. Krishna gives a thread, what and how bhakti has practiced. He says, Rasaha aham apsu kaunteya prabha asmi shashi suryayoho. Kena kena dharmena, which are the aspects, which are the features, which are the qualifiers that human can focus on Bhagavan. Okay, it is as simple as the Surya Kirana. It is as simple as Chandra Kirana. It is as simple as the cold feeling of that which exists within the water. What there is nothing that you cannot you can keep aside that I focus on that. So bhakti is actually an approach and attitude, a point of view towards everything. Rather, you only focus on one thing, unless our mind is, all of us have very big baggage on our back. Okay, all we have our own there are two aspects. Generally, it is said one is nature, the other one is nurture. Nature and nurture are contributing in all of our functions, all the actions right now that I am performing. These are the two. This is actually modern approach, but obviously there is more input that we can draw. What is nature and nurture? According to us, nature is what is prakriti and purusha. Nurture is all the samskaras. Okay, all the 16 except except antyeshti, all the 15 samskaras are actually only to nurture, only to garbhadana, pumsavana, and Simantana, or when the Jata Karma and Karna Veda and Upanayana Samskara and Vivaha, everything that whatever we claim in terms of Samskara, it is to nurture. However strong it is possible, an individual can be made into. These are the samskaras are exclusive to make us more stronger. But as on today, we all fight for our simple, very tiny, silly matters in terms of language, in terms of ethnicity, in terms of caste and creed. In fact, castes have their own purpose. It is not to deeming completely castes are wrong or Varna system is wrong. People claim because they don't understand the purpose. So for the caste system, there is a different purpose. There is Varna system, different purpose. There is ashrama, dharmashrama. We claim it as dharmashrama. So what is dharma? Is it the mata that I'm speaking? No, it is manava dharma. It is jagat dharma. This is sanatana dharma we stand for. So this is what bhakti towards Krishna. Only Krishna is just an expression, but Krishna from his original position he is speaking. Aham rasaha. Rasa is the taste amongst all the water available. Okay, this is quite technical that I started speaking about. Rasaha aham apsukam teya prabhani shashi suryayoh pranavah sarvavedeshu. I am Omkara amongst all the Vedas. That is what is said even in Mandukya Upanishad. Akara, Ukara, and Makara, and Omkara. The Akara stands for Rigveda, Ukara stands for Yajurveda, and Akara stands for Samaveda. And originally, all the Vedas are called Trayi, but later on, Chaturveda was nomenclatured later. There is a chronological history and very system that we discuss about four Vedas and why it is called Trayi. But Omkara is the essence of all the Vedas. What Krishna says, I am Omkara, I am Pranava amongst all the Vedas, meaning I am the essence of the Vedas. Okay, and then Shahake Paurusham Nrushu, I am Purusha amongst all the human beings. Okay, so what is this Purusha? Can Bhagavan be a Purusha among all the human beings? This is what is said. It is not the male and female concept. Purusha is what is our true existence. This is very exact context. People can misunderstand. Hare Krishna is standing for only masculine. Can he claim Purusha amongst all the human beings? This is what, the way Nastri Swatantram Arhati is misled, misinterpreted. Similarly, the very small statement like Aham Purushaha Paurusham Nrushu Naras, all the Manavas, amongst all the Manavas, I am Purusha. Purusha is that Atma Tattva. I am the essence of all the human beings. Qualitatively, I am humanity amongst all the human beings. Okay, these are very simple and tiny, but having universal application and universality that India and Sanatana Dharma stands for. And I cannot even forget those events people have gone through, who left their life Kashmir. Again and again, it is remembered. Our Prime Minister has promised that retaliation will be done and it will be taken. Right action will be taken. We hope for that. We stand for that. And we support. And with this, I just want to wind up. I have no more to elaborate today. So, धन्यवादः सर्वेभ्यः नमस्कारः.
A very big appreciation for Sushrutha ji for your clear thinking and expression of women's freedom. When you were saying that we don't know how to kill, I always feel being born as Hindu in this Bharata Desha, definitely we don't know how to kill innocent people. And I always think Rama and Krishna are our ancestors, and we are from that family. So we can't harm anyone. And it was truly such a wonderful explanation today, as usual. Dhanyavadaha, Mahodaya. Thank you so much. Shri Abhinav Kidambi will continue the series Narasimha Purana. Practitioner of Yoga Shastra, M.Tech in Medical Nanotechnology, M.A. Sanskrit scholar, currently doing PhD research in Sanskrit, teaches Yoga Shastra, Sanskrit, Indian philosophy, Indian culture and heritage. Swagata Mahodaya.
Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Namaste. Before we enter into our current series or issue of the series, it becomes important for us to also dwell on one interesting idea which has also been covered extensively by Sushrutha ji. I would like to just tell one small idea before we move ahead. We always have so many firings happening regularly, annually at the borders. So around 30 to 50 or even up to 70 to 100 people who are faithfully serving our Bharata over the past 75 years or more have been giving their lives for protecting the mainland Indians. All the citizens are being protected by them. And over the past few years, approximately 8 to 10 years, we have noticed that the number of these incidents is reducing. It is because of the efforts of those people in power who have constantly been working towards that direction that this is possible. Suddenly, one day when something like this happens, it is not correct for us to immediately question our intelligence in trying to vote for these people in power, because we don't know how many of these people have been saved by those people in power. Just because we have seen some innocent civilians being killed suddenly, it does not mean that it is a failure of the entire government in power. It is just that there has perhaps been some kind of criminally oriented people who have done such a thing when the government or the power people in power, those people in authority, have been least expecting. It does not mean that the entire system has failed. Many of us sitting at home, we become armchair pundits, and on social media we share this idea that the entire government, the entire system is at fault. It's not just the whole system at fault. It is just that so far the system has been flawless. That is why you are alive and you are sharing these comments with people in public. If you do the same thing in any other country, in any other neighboring country, you would not probably even survive the next day. So please be aware of what is happening in the country at the borders before trying to comment on any of these ideas, trying to pass comments on those people in power, because a Raja has so many things in his mind. So for us, the concept of Raja is always there. The concept of who is in power, for us, even though we have become a new young democracy, we are still those people who believe that our Raja is close to Devata. Our Raja is like a Bhagavan for us. So we should understand that sometimes things like these happen. Even in the context of Devatas, we have the Asuras and Rakshasas who have come and dealt with so much of damage for the Devata side. That does not mean that the Devatas have always failed. It just means that a momentary lapse has happened. For some time, it will be down. Again, we will rise. So please stay strong. Please stay confident. This does not mean the system has failed. It only means that there has been a momentary lapse. With that in mind, let us move towards our Narasimha Purana. In the Narasimha Purana, we have covered, I think, 14 of these adhyayas. We most recently saw some interesting ideas relating to the socio-cultural problems that are associated with specifically relationships and dharma, ashrama dharma. So first we saw how Yami declared her love towards her brother Yama, and how Yama tries to stay focused on dharma and manages to succeed in his life. Later we saw in the next chapter how there is this brahmachari who is learning from a grihastha from a person in grihastha about what is ashrama dharma. Then we saw later how there is this widower who does not have, and his wife has passed away, and now he is learning how to be established in the proper ashrama dharma. This is what we saw in the previous session. Today we will see a slightly different idea, which is being presented in the form of the samsara vriksha in the 15th chapter. The entirety of Sankhya Shastra, which forms the basis for yoga as well as Vedanta, is presented in this chapter. They are giving one kind of a comparison. There is a simile or metaphor associated with a tree. Normally, we see that samsara is associated with a chakra, but here they are mentioning samsara as a vriksha, meaning a tree. If you have studied Sankhya Shastra, you probably might immediately connect with it. But let me simply tell you, just listen to it. It's okay if you don't understand. Just keep listening. You will realize what we are trying to say in Sankhya Shastra later. If and when you study Sankhya, which is associated with yoga and Vedanta, you will realize that it has been presented in a simplified form here. So the samsara vriksha is being presented with the roots being avyakta or pradhana, that is prakriti. So this samsara vriksha is different from the vriksha which is mentioned in the Veda, that urdhva moolam, adhashakha, all that is not connected here. Please remember that this vriksha is a different vriksha. This vriksha has at the roots avyakta, that is prakriti, moola pradhana, that is the material which is meant for building this entire universe. All the material is present in the unmanifest form. That is pradhana or moola prakriti or avyakta according to Sankhya Shastra. There it starts growing in the form of the trunk, which is called mahat or buddhi. So from prakriti comes mahat or buddhi, which is that cosmic intelligence according to Sankhya Shastra. This is what Kapila has given in the Bhagavata Purana. If you go there, there is this section called the Kapilopadesha. So if you want, you can search for this online. There is a separate small section called the Kapilopadesha, where Kapila is teaching his mother Devahuti the basics of Sankhya Shastra. We do not have sutras for the Sankhya system. So we have sutras for Yoga, Nyaya, Vaisheshika, Purva Mimamsa, and Vedanta. But for Sankhya, we do not have sutra literature. The earliest literature we can find according to available historical records is the Sankhya Upadesha in the form of the Kapilopadesha, the Bhagavata Purana. So we do not know exactly why we do not have the sutras, but we know that some of this is maintained properly in the Bhagavata Purana. So anyway, in the Kapilopadesha, all of this comes. So after, from Moola Prakriti or Avyakta, which is there in the form of the root, the tree's trunk is coming. The tree's trunk is called Mahat or Buddhi. Sometimes it is also called Mahan. So these are all technical terms used in Sankhya Shastra. It's okay if you don't fully understand. Maybe some other day I will show you a visual representation so that you will be able to understand. So this Mahatma or Buddhi, after this, it becomes into hollows and sprouts, it seems. These are all the Indriyas. We have the Ekadasha Indriyas, Pancha Karmendriyas, Pancha Jnanendriyas, and then we have the Manas, which is the Ubhayendriya. It is both Karmendriya and Jnanendriya at the same time. Indriya means sense organ or generally organ. So if it is Jnanendriya, it is the organ of sense perception. If it is Karmendriya, it is the organ of action. Ubhayendriya means Manas is capable of both sense perception and also action according to Shastra. So when you look at this, we see Indriyas are the hollows on sprouts. Beyond that, we have the branches of the Mahabhutas, Pancha Mahabhutas. From the Pancha Mahabhutas, we see that twigs and leaves are coming. These twigs and leaves are the objects which are perceived by the senses, which are also touched and moved by the organs of action. After that, we see there are flowers, which are called dharma and adharma, it seems. From these flowers, we have the fruits of sukha and dukkha, respectively. After that, we have jnana, which is the one which cuts off the entire tree. So, according to Darshana Shastra, according to Bharatiya Jnana Parampara, jnana is the one which is cutting away the tree of samsara. So, according to the visualization of samsara as a chakra, there jnana is the one which is going to release you from the chakra. You will no longer come into the cycle, that circle. According to this metaphor or simile, jnana is the one which is cutting off the tree. So you might be asking, cutting off the tree meaning, are you also cutting off the roots? So these days, if you are in the cities, you will see how they will also cut off the roots. I do not know if you have seen it. So when they want to cut a tree, when they are doing a construction, what they will do is they will not merely cut off the tree trunk, they will also remove the remaining stump of the tree. So to remove the remaining stump of the tree, earlier in olden days, what they used to do is they would leave it for some time and it would dry off and fall. It would be so dry, you can remove it. In some places, they would pour water into that place, and then when it is submerged in water, it will suffocate and die. They will remove it. These days, what they are doing is they are also using these mechanized electrical devices which will dig into the root and they will make it into wooden chips and they will remove it. So these are all different technologies which are developed over the past few years for removing tree stumps. But anyway, let us assume that we also have access to this technology when we are trying to cut off the tree of samsara. So once you cut off the tree of samsara, you are released from this tree's influence over you. So whatever previously Sushrutha ji said, Purusha, Prakriti, all that concept, it will now come and apply here properly. Later we will talk about that. When I have the ability, when I have the time, I will create that visualization. I will show you. Then you can understand it more clearly. This is the summary of the 15th chapter. Then in the 16th chapter, we see Shuka asking Vyasa, what is the solution for people who are stuck in samsara? So Vyasa immediately narrates story within a story within a story. Originally, it was being told by Suta. Suta is mentioning Shuka talking to Vyasa. Vyasa is now mentioning that Narada first went to Maheshwara. So Narada, after going to Raurava, which is a Naraka, he is going to Maheshwara and asking, please tell me, he's asking the same question. What is the solution? Everybody is stuck in Maya. Everybody is stuck in samsara. How will we come out of it? Immediately, Maheshwara apparently is telling the answer. The world is Maya. The entire universe that you are seeing, perceiving, this is actually because of the Maya of Vishnu. And man is intoxicated by pleasure, by sukha. He is similar to an old cow which is stuck and submerged inside wet mud. In wet mud. I do not know if you have seen this. In rural areas, you probably can find this. Some senior participants here may be able to recognize. So in villages around the rainy season, we have to be very careful to not let the cattle out into the open. What happens is near the rivers and ponds and lakes, even the temple tirthas, what happens is when there is a lot of water, suddenly all that dried clay which is there will start becoming soggy, and it will start becoming like quicksand. It will be very thick. And once you place your leg there, you will start going deeper inside it. You will start getting submerged. So what happens is, when some old people go there, they will somehow, usually old people won't go there. Old people will avoid getting into such places. But old cows, they do not know this. They do not know how to be careful. So what happens is, when you leave these old cows, what they do is they start roaming around, and accidentally they get stuck inside this clay, wet clay. They can't come out because they don't have the capacity to come out, climb out of it. So what happens is, they will stay there, they will keep trying, and they will submerge and die there only. So this is a very common observation in rural areas. In cities, we cannot see that because we do not have water bodies left here. All the water bodies, we are building constructions. So people are only getting submerged. No cows are getting submerged, so we cannot see it. Anyway, this is the concept that he is saying. That is, Maheshwara is telling Narada. And then he's saying the only way to come out of it is to worship and meditate on transcendent and immanent Vishnu. And because of that, you can be freed from samsara. This entire chapter is called Vishnu Stava. And so if you chant this, you will get that Phalashruti. You will get the benefits of chanting something. The next chapter is very interesting chapter. This is about the Ashtakshara mantra and its Mahatmya. So the Ashtakshara mantra is associated with Vishnu. We see the Panchakshara mantra associated with Shiva, but the Ashtakshara mantra is associated with Vishnu. So the Ashtakshara mantra is so important to Vaishnavas that it is considered to be the final solution for all the problems that they face. I am saying they, even though I am a Vaishnava, because I am speaking generally in public. Therefore, I am not trying to say us and them. I am not trying to separate. So when we talk about the Vaishnavas consider the Ashtakshara mantra as very important. So in this chapter, there is a description of this Ashtakshara mantra very beautifully. How to do the japa. So you have to do the japa of the mantra. Of course, obviously after the Guru Upadesha. Mantropadesha has to be done in the context of a Guru. There should be a Upadesha Guru who gives you the mantra. Then you have to, when you want to do the japa, you have to visualize the form of Vishnu who is seated in the lotus of your heart. You should be sitting in a solitary place where people are not coming. And then it should not be disturbed. That's what they mean. You should come and sit somewhere where people are not constantly coming and going and disturbing. Very difficult in urban settings these days. Wherever you go, people are there. So wherever you go, we follow according to telecom signal. But today the situation is, wherever you go, there will be someone standing there and talking. Always we have some disturbance. The best option is, whatever japa you do, please sit somewhere where number of people is less. Please sit somewhere where, and inform people around you that you are going to do a japa. At home you can do, outside you cannot do, but at least try to do it at home whenever possible. So what else are they saying? They are saying you have to do this with an image of Vishnu in front of you, or you can do it near some water body, somewhere near water body. There is Jalantike, that is also mentioned there. And you have to keep chanting all the time. That is also mentioned. Exclusively in only one place, one time, okay, but you can also chant at all times. That is also given. And then if you chant 1,000 or 10 lakh times, so 1,000 times you have to do Sahasra, or 10 lakh times, the Niyuta. If you do it like that, you will get lots of benefit, especially on Dwadashi day. This is what is being mentioned in the chapter. On Dwadashi Tithi, Shukla Paksha or Krishna Paksha, if you do it for 1,000 times or up to 10 lakh times, it is good for you. Then they are also mentioning what happens when you are going to achieve the completion of the count of 1 lakh. So every 1 lakh times that you are finishing the count of the japa, there's a different benefit which is mentioned inside the chapter. When you finish the 8th lakh, that is, Ashtakshara has 8 aksharas. For each akshara, if you do 1 lakh, only then you will get the siddhi of the mantra. So for the first lakh, what benefit you will get? Second lakh, what changes you will find? Third lakh, what changes you will find? All this is also mentioned as milestones inside this chapter. When you finish the 8th lakh of that mantra japa, you will attain, according to the text, it says nirvana. So if you are someone who is interested in Buddha tradition, you might immediately think this is the nirvana what Buddha said. No, it's not the same nirvana. Here, nirvana, not the nirvana which is used in Tamil language. In Tamil, nirvana is used to refer to someone who is not wearing clothes. That is different. So what we should understand is there is some cultural connotation here for the etymology of the word nirvana in Tamil, because the word nirvana originally was meant for exclusive usage for Jaina and Buddha people. So they used to also be Digambara. So Digambara meaning they used to not wear any clothes. So they confused nirvana with Digambara. So nirvana is only experienced by those wearing no clothes. So nirvana and Digambara are connected. So whenever somebody said nirvana in Tamil language, they assumed that they are Digambara. But that is not the case. Nirvana actually refers to moksha. There are many terms for moksha. Moksha, mukti, nishreyasa, nirvana, so many terms. Sometimes we will also use the names of Shivaloka, Brahmaloka, Satyaloka, Vishnuloka, Vaikuntha, Kailasa. All these terms are also being used. So that person, when they do it for 8 lakh times, they will attain nirvana. And there is one important thing which is also mentioned here. The japa should not be done by neglecting swadharma. It should be done along with the practice of swadharma. That is also very important. By the chanting of this mantra properly, all purusharthas will be attained. Dharma, artha, kama, and moksha will be attained. Because of the paucity of time, I will stop here. I think I have covered for 15 minutes. I will stop here. Namaste. Thank you.
Dhanyawadaha, Abhinavji. First of all, thank you for reinforcing the point as a common people how we have to behave in a critical situation. That was a wonderful thing. Someone should say, or else no, we get so emoted and we are getting angriness. Actually, our mind is so disturbed, and as you said, we are cursing everyone. All sorts of unwanted words comes out of anxiety. But a good start by you, Abhinavji, and what all beautiful explanation. These are all treasures. I don't know why many of us couldn't follow this, and we don't know where we left all this, where it had gone, why we couldn't take that. Maybe it's Kali Yuga, we don't know. But today it was excellent. It was very clear, and thank you so much. Thank you. Kumari Swetha Venkataraman is going to recite Chandrashekhara Sthutim. She is learning music from Srimati Uma Ravichandran and from Srimati Ratipriya. Swetha has participated in many music competitions and won prizes, and also had participated in Shankara TV. Pursuing BCom, Swagatam Swetha, our lovable musician, she is.
Namaskaram. कामकोटिसिद्धपीठभूषणं हि यस्वयं स्वीयभक्तचित्तशुद्धप्रत्यवायवारकं नित्यशुद्धबुद्धमुक्तब्रह्मज्ञानदायकम् आनतोऽस्मि सद्गुरुं यतीन्द्रचन्द्रशेखरम् आनतोऽस्मि सद्गुरुं यतीन्द्रचन्द्रशेखरम् हास्यमुद्रया भवेत् कृपाकटाक्षवीक्षणं प्रसन्नचित्तदर्शनेन शान्तिबोधदायकं सौख्यभाग्यदायकं समस्तदुःखनाशकम् आनतोऽस्मि सद्गुरुं यतीन्द्रचन्द्रशेखरम् आनतोऽस्मि सद्गुरुं यतीन्द्रचन्द्रशेखरम् अज्ञबालसाधकोऽहमाश्रये पदाम्बुजम् भाष्यकार ज्ञानदृष्टिमाप्नुयां गुरोः कृपां प्रार्थये हि देशिकेन्द्र पाहि 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 माम् आनतोऽस्मि सद्गुरुं यतीन्द्रचन्द्रशेखरम् आनतोऽस्मि सद्गुरुं यतीन्द्रचन्द्रशेखरम् पूज्यपादशङ्करार्य वन्द्यपादपङ्कजे षट्पदस्य मे यतेरतीव प्रीतिरस्तु ते ब्रह्मभाव स्वानुभूति सिद्धिरस्तु मे सदा आशिषस्तथा च ते कृतार्थ चन्द्रशेखर आशिषस्तथा च ते कृतार्थ चन्द्रशेखर आशिषस्तथा च ते कृतार्थ चन्द्रशेखर नमस्कारम
This is
Super.
no ஆனந்தமான நிலை அப்படிங்கிறது இதுதான். Shri Paramacharia is also today being Swetha, excellent கண்ணா. ஒரு ஆனந்தமான நிலைக்கு thank you so much. ధన్యవాదः. Shri Ragavendran Mahodaya Swagatam Kritva Vayam Garvitaha Smaha. Raghavji will be presenting speech on Maneesha, Panchakam and Advaita Rasa Manjari. Mahodaya heads the state division of organizations such as Shiksha Samskrit Uttan Nyas, has wide knowledge on Bharatiya Darshanas such as Yoga, Nyaya, Vaisheshika, Mimamsa and Vedanta. Also a Tamil scholar and has wide knowledge in Tamil literature, conducting workshops for top executives, professors, and research scientists in the domains of Indian knowledge systems, holds Orange Book of Record title for the longest online Tamil event conducted for over 789 hours. Expertise in poetic compositions in all three languages, English, Tamil, and Sanskrit. Swagata Mahodaya.
ராகவ் இருக்கீங்களா?
ராகவ் இருக்காரு ஆனா
ஆக்சுவலி ராகவ் இதுல கூடலி மட்ல இருக்கா. ராகவ் கனெக்ஷன் இருக்கா?
Hello.
He is joining.
Hello.
Raghav is joining.
Hello.
Yes.
Namaskaram. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I'm actually in Gurukul right now.
I only just now saw
Hello.
the webpage.
Yeah. And also, just now I was speaking with Dattaraji. So I think I will go ahead. Okay.
Very sorry, I am too
Hello.
late. I only just now saw the message.
Hello. Hello. ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணட்டுமா? ஓகே. ஆச்சாரிய சரணத்வந்த ஸ்மிருதேர் வாச்சகரூபிணம் அகம் கிருத்வா குருதே வியாக்கியாம் நாஹமத்ர பிரபுர்யதः. A very good evening to one and all, and I am really sorry for the delay. So I will keep it very short as an introduction and a gist today. So we are going to see a comparison between Maneesha Panchakam and Advaita Rasa Manjari. Advaita was not started by Shankaracharya, as all of us know, but it was rather codified by the Bhashyas through our Acharya. So once Acharya had done this, there were many differences of opinions in the philosophy, and because of that, there were many different schools of thought, like Vachaspati, Bhamati, so on and so forth, all the way till the 16th century. In the 16th century, two great men stepped in, and these two great men, two Mahans, they codified and they rectified the differences of opinion in the school of Advaita, in the various schools of Advaita. One of them took a very, very scholarly approach. He completely took a scholarly approach and he completely created a very clear understanding of the various schools of Advaita through his Siddhanta Lesha Sangraha, that is Appaya Dikshidhar. And then another great saint, he took a transcendental approach, he took a spiritual approach, and he synthesized the essence of Advaita, and he created many texts to bring back the actual purport of what Adi Shankara Bhagavad himself meant through his own bhashyas and his own granthas. This is none other than Sadashiva Brahmendra. So the text that we are going to see today, which is Advaita Rasamanjari, was also written by Sadashiva Brahmendra. Of course, Brahmendra did not write any of the texts that are attributed to him because he was beyond all sorts of karmas and activities, including writing. So he would have simply told these shlokas extempore and his students would have written this down. Now, as I told you, we all know about Maneesha Panchakam. There is no need to give introduction to Maneesha. So those are the 5 shlokas written by Adi Shankara Bhagavad as a part of the argument that he had with the Chandala. Now, let us take a few shlokas from Advaita Rasamanjari for the want of time and compare them to the shlokas in Maneesha. I am not going to give word for word meaning for the verses, once again because of the want of time. I will simply give you the meaning, the summary of the verse and how it compares and what is the philosophical implication. Here, Ajnana Vispurat Aneka Vidha Atma Bedam Ajnanam Ashrivatas Sulabaha Na Muktihi. आदर्शके हम अमितः प्रतिबिंबितान्तद्वारं कतस्य न बहिर्गतिर् अर्पकस्य is the shloka. The shloka is very simple. That is, Ajnana is Vispurita. That is, because of Ajnana, the one understanding of the true self looks like many. Ajnana is differentiating or is distorting the true self, and we think our true self is many. So it is, there is an example here, there is a metaphor here given by Brahmendra. Brahmendra is saying that, let us imagine a kid is standing in a room full of mirrors. All the walls are covered completely in mirrors. Every wall is covered in mirror. And there is a door, there is an opening through which the kid can actually come out. But what happens is, instead of going through the actual door, the kid will go to the reflection of the door, the reflection of the opening again and again, and it will try to come out in vain. Its effort will not give the fruit of liberation from the room. Similarly, we are identifying ourselves, we are attributing ourselves, we are superimposing our own identity upon objects that which either belong to us or that which are not us at all. We will be attributing ourselves upon our body, our mind. That is also okay, because at least our body and our mind is the closest identity we have. But when your car, your house, your wife, your children becomes you, that is when the bigger problem of confusing the door with the image of the door happens. The actual way out of the room is the door, which is actually the self-identity, the realization of the identity of self with our own Atma. That is the way to liberation. There is no doubt about it. But we are attributing that nature of the self upon other things which are like the reflection of the Atma. This is very, very keen point, because we are not, we are not creating identity. We are not superimposing our identity identity on something that which is not related to us at all. I may say my son is me, but I will never say my neighbor's son is me. That gives rise to a lot of problems, if I say so. So there is some sort of a connection, there is some sort of a need for expansion that which makes us say other things are us, including our body and our mind. That is nothing but the seeking of liberation, the very seeking of liberation that the soul always has. So let us compare this to another shloka from Maneesha. Maneesha, it is stated that the reflection of the sun in Ganges and the reflection of the sun in the gutter, in the Chandala Viti. So is there a difference between these two reflections? Now, here the misidentification of the self as non-self and the non-self as the self is reflected through our example in Advaita Rasa Manjari. Clearly there, Acharya says, there is the identification of the surface object upon the Brahman. This is a very subtle difference that we need to understand. The surface object is the Ganges and the Chandalaviti gutter, but the sun is the Brahman. Similarly, here the way out is the self-realization, and the confusion is caused because of the superimposition of identities. This is the comparison, first comparison. Then we have another beautiful shloka here from Advaita Rasa Manjari, shloka number 5. Gudasta Nitya Sukhabodha Tano Pradisho Bando Vimochanam Idi Brahma Durvilasaha. There is a beautiful saying here, that is Gudasta Nitya Sukhabodha Tano Pradisho. The Gudasta means anvil or the foundation or the base. In Vedanta, Gudasta is the Atma. The Atma or the Brahma is the Gudasta. All that is happening upon the Gudasta. That is, we are keeping an iron and we are heating it, we are cooling it, we are doing so many things on the anvil. But the anvil does not get affected because of the actions of the blacksmith. Similarly, when our life is hitting us, when it is heating us up and when it is cooling us down, when it is elongating and shortening us, doing all sorts of changes, mutations to us, these mutations are happening on the anvil, that is the Atma, but these mutations are only happening to the body and the mind and the emotions which are on the anvil and not to the anvil itself. So, because of this reason, because the anvil is going to remain unchanged, Bandha Vimochanam Iti Brahma Durvilasa. The very idea of liberation and bondage in itself is a Brahma. In itself is a confusion. It is created because of what? Durvilasa. It is created because of the Atma is bound. Maneesha Panchakam also clearly says that the unmitigated ocean of bliss, the undivided, unmitigated, immutable, which is always there, Sadananda Vabu, it is there inside me. It is the natural state, Sakaja Ananda Vabu, that is the Sakaja state of me. You don't have to do anything to achieve it. Just stop doing everything else that will be achieved, is what Maneesha is stating. So with these two comparisons, I suppose we will end today's short note on Maneesha and Advaita Rasa Manjari. Am I clear now? Hello? Hello? Am I clear?
Yes. Yeah,
Yes, yes. So, as I was telling you, with this note, we will end the two comparisons of Advaita Rasa Manjari and Maneesha. There is a lot more to go on, but because of the want of time and since I am in a very bad place where there is no signal, I apologize for the missed opportunity, and I thank you so much for the opportunity at the same time. Thank you.
Dhanyavadaha Raghavji. Actually, we should thank you because as a person, I might not go and read or understand all this personally. But when speakers like you with wide knowledge, when you come up and take up all these good things and tell us, no, it is really a bless for us. Thank you so much. Dhanyavadaha. Visali, we can go for vote of thanks.
Yeah, we can. And we can have one more session in detail on this topic with Raghav on some other time.
Surely we will do that. Surely we will do that.
Actually, இப்ப clear-ஆ கேக்குறது.
It will happen. அப்படிதான் நடக்கும்.
இப்ப கண்டிப்பா பண்ணிட்டோம்.
இல்ல
not because of that. Break ஆகுது.
Okay, we will have it on some other time. It's okay, no issues.
இல்ல இந்த சப்ஜெக்ட் ரொம்ப ஹெவி சப்ஜெக்ட்.
ஆமா.
We need more time. We need more.
Relaxed-ஆ பேச
சீரியஸா வேணா போட்டுறலாம்.
ஆமா. So we will have it on some other
சீரியஸா போட்டுக்கலாம். Actually in fact, matter of fact is Viveka Chudamani when compared to Advaita Rasa Manjari will be even more apt.
Yeah,
because Advaita Rasa Manjari is actually an indirect bhashya for Viveka Chudamani.
Okay, we will have it அடுத்த வார மாசத்துல வேற இருக்கு. Okay, no issues. You continue with Swamiji. Please convey my pronouns to Swamiji.
Yes. I have already done that.
I have already messaged him also.
அதான் இது நான் கூடலில இல்ல. I am in Rishivatika. He has come to the Gurukulam. அவர் சொன்னார் நீங்க கூடலி வந்திருக்கீங்கன்னு மெசேஜ் போட்டுருந்தாங்க.
Okay. நான் கூடலில இருக்கேன்னு தான் போட்டுருந்தேன். But anyhow, it's so nice you have met him.
இல்ல. Anyhow, I spoke to him. I gave him the book. அப்புறம் வந்துட்டு I also told him about the book. பேசிட்டேன்.
Okay, very good.
We will follow that up.
Okay. Thank you. We can go for
Ram.
विज्ञापन प्रस्तुत करेंगे श्रीमती गीता माता, प्रोफेशनली क्वालिफाइड होम्योपैथी डॉक्टर, had given speech on women's welfare, health and hygiene, self-confidence, self-improvement in All India Radio, has wide knowledge in all fields, an important member of our Pride of Bharat heritage, and she is expert in literature, Shloka, etc. So blessed, and thank you, Mata. Please welcome for the vote of thanks.
Thank you, dear Mathangi. I just don't know. I wonder if I am fit for all this praise. But anyway, sweet words. Thank you very much. Sarvebhyo namaskaraga. Shubha Shanti abhi. Asminaga samuhasya dhanyavadaga matadanam kartum harshakti. Prarthanaya mathura prastavanaya Kumari Thejaswini krite dhanyavadaga dadami. मम भगिन्याः मातंगी तथा विशाली वर्यः उत्तम एंकरिंग और स्वागत भाषणार्थम अभी धन्यवादं ददामि. सुभाषिताय श्री रामकृष्ण महोदयस्य धन्यवादः. श्लोक जपाय कुमारी श्वेता वेंकट, the nightingale of our Pride of Bharat heritage. God bless her. अस्य अर्बुदस्य गीता व्याख्यानस्य कृते सुश्रुताय मम धन्यवादः. और अभिनव किडाम्बी कृते मम धन्यवादः. अत्र अस्मिन् कार्यक्रमे विशिष्ट वक्तारः मम स्पेशल गेस्ट विशिष्ट वक्तारः राघवेंद्र जी अपि धन्यवादं ददामि. शांति मंत्र कृते शिवकुमार जी की धन्यवादं ददामि. And I thank all the persons who have joined here for the excellent program. Thank you very much. Thank you one and all.
धन्यवादः गीता माता. स्वागतम शिवकुमार जी for शांति मंत्र.
सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्. ॐ शान्तिः. नमस्कारः
महोदय. सर्वेषां प्रतिभागिनां कृते धन्यवादः. शुभरात्रि.